Hello, Assalamualaikum, and very good afternoon to all my friends and my beloved lecturer. Today, I and my friend would like to present chapter number 7 regarding managing people for service advantage. Okay, first of all, I would like to I acknowledge my friends, Mr. Muhammad Azrin, my friend Muhammad Daniel Fitri, and myself, Azlan Ibrahim. Okay, I would like to start my point first. Okay, the service talent cycle for service firms. Leadership that leadership is foster a strong service with patience and productivity, drive a value, focus the entire organizations. Okay, dekat sini saya nak explain tentang leadership, di mana leadership memainkan peranan yang sangat penting untuk memastikan talent cycle service firm ini berjalan dengan seperti yang dirancang. Okay, now we see the cycle. Number one is the hire the right people. Okay, be pre- be preferred employee intensive selection process. Okay, hire the right people. Dekat sini saya akan bercerita sedikit asas saja, and my friend will go through in more detail about the hire the right people. Okay, point number one here is the hire the right people ialah setiap organisation perlu memastikan they are hired the right people, which is dengan melalui method interview yang bersesuaian, terutama untuk mereka yang akan memegang sesuatu jawatan. Sebagai contoh, jawatan accountant ataupun banker, mereka memerlukan kemahiran dalam kira-kira. So based on the experience, some of the company they have like interview, contohnya macam bank, diorang mempunyai interview yang spesifik untuk sesuatu jawatan tu. Okay, contohnya macam interview untuk matematik dan juga pengiraan wang. Okay, point number dua ialah enable your people. Okay, enable your people ini dia melibatkan beberapa perkara, iaitu seperti training, empower the frontline, build a high performance. Okay, training contohnya untuk customer service. Mungkin ada setengah training yang diperlukan untuk customer service seperti macam mana nak membina body language, okay, cara macam mana untuk mereka berkomunikasi lebih baik secara corporate dengan customer-customer ataupun pelanggan-pelanggan organisasi tersebut. Okay, empower the front line. How we want to empower the front line dengan memberikan mereka knowledge ataupun memberikan mereka dalam membuat keputusan. Sebab setengah company, ada company yang ataupun organisation hanya bos saja yang boleh buat keputusan. So perkara ini akan membuatkan frontline merasakan mereka tidak mempunyai kuasa. So cara yang terbaik ialah kita memberi kuasa kepada mereka frontline untuk mereka membuat keputusan mereka sendiri. Secara tak langsung kita dapat empower atau memperkasakan frontline kita. Build high performance, membina performance yang lebih baik dengan memberikan training ataupun product knowledge. Sebagai contoh, kalau customer yang mempunyai company yang mempunyai produk, okay, produce produk kepada pelanggan mereka, frontline mesti mempunyai product knowledge yang bagus untuk mereka memberi ataupun menjawab segala permasalahan yang dihadapi oleh mereka lah ataupun daripada customer. Okay, the last is motivate and energize your people. Okay, motivate, kebanyakan company mereka practice motivate mereka punya pekerja dengan memberi bonus, okay, reward like macam sijil perhargaan, okay, dan juga ada setengah company mereka memberi commission ataupun allowance terhadap pencapaian pekerja yang lebih baik. Okay, secara roughly, this is the service talent cycle di mana dia memainkan peranan yang sangat penting terutama kepada mereka yang di dalam bidang perkhidmatan untuk memberikan perkhidmatan yang lebih baik kepada pelanggan. Okay, dan seterusnya, I would like to pass the presenter, my friend Muhammad Azrin will talk about hire the right people is more detail. Okay, Azrin, dipersilakan.
Okay, thank you Azlan. So I will share my slide, continue with what Azlan already explained. But before that, a very good afternoon to fellow friends and madams. So next, I will explain a little bit more on hire the right people. So how company can attract the good talent. So, but before that, who is the people? You know, we are talking about people. So who are these people? So these people are referring is actually to resources or talent, or in service line we call it frontliner. So why does it important for service line? So number one, because this talent or these people will contribute to the companies in terms of market access. Um, on top of that, they will also contribute in terms of performance. It can be like monetary or non-monetary. So monetary, for example, like sales, profit to the companies, while non-monetary is more like customer relationships, how they can attract these local or loyal customers to the brands or to the companies, or product advertisements. All right. So how to be the preferred employer? So in industry they call it the war of talent. So a lot of good talent um, very keen to work with this company. So before they attract this good talent, what the company needs to do, right? So they must have their own brand identity. It can be like a company's name, reputations, or working environments. So on top of that, the company must compete for the talent market share. So they cannot be like stand alone and just waiting for any candidates who apply. So they must compete in the industry. So the last but not least, they must have attractive value proposition in terms of image. You know, how they can offer to this good talent. For example, like a career path. If let's say this good talent join this company, probably they have they can imagine like a good path of the career instead of being uh, same level or same position or same skill for the next 5 to 10 years. All right. So my next slide is select the right people. Just now, preferred employer, it is more on company's point of view. All right. So now select the right people. So this is basically more on human resource responsibles responsibility. There are few so-called option how to identify this candidate. Uh, there is no perfect employees in this world anyway. So the keyword is good employees, brand fit. So good employees not necessarily to be like a perfect employees or a perfect candidates or best student or graduates. So it can be anybody who come with a good attitude, all right? As long as they have a good attitude, so they can perform the tasks or the jobs efficiently. All right. So how to identify this best candidate? So normally company will use multiple or structured interviews. For example, just now Azlan mentioned about bank. You know, banks normally they will conduct pre-interviewed so-called some sort of like examinations. So if you pass that examination, then you can proceed with the next stage of verbal interview. So these are the interviews or the structured interviews by the companies. So they can't simply like knowing someone and just employ. Uh, so number two, it's more on the observe candidate behavior. So how they can know the behavior? So normally company will do some sort like behavioral simulations or assessment set tests or they can refer to the past reference. If candidate come with award or recognition, so they have a benchmark to hire that candidates, right? So next is give applicants a realistic preview of the job. So this is more on some sort like candidates let candidates know the reality of the job, or they will conduct on job training. So last but not least, conduct the personality test. So nowadays they can conduct this personality test via questionnaire. You know, they can come up with some sort of psychology test, so that the candidate just filling up the form. From there, company can determine what type of behavior, what type of probably attitude and preference, right? So there are three methods of selecting the right people. So first, selection of method to convey the brand value, as well as allow self-assessment of employees fit. Second, recruitment advertising. So via this recruitment advertising, this can attract so-called potential candidates to reflect to their fit, whether they can fit the job or the job fit them, right? So in this case, normally in advertisement, we can see like from JobStreet, some of the companies will advertise condition or requirements that they must have fluent in English, or they must be able to communicate or to converse overseas or other language. So these are the hint whether the candidate can suit the job or not, right? So, but last but not least, emphasize on the brand fit and potential misfit. So from this method, basically, company can highlight what the brands want and what the brands don't want. For example, like if you can see, like for example, workshop or telemarketers. So this kind of job or this kind of frontliners will require a talkative kind of candidates or energetic people to represent their brands, right? So next, after we select the right people, we can proceed with training, right? So training is very important because training is basically an investment and development for outstanding result. So this outstanding result can be determined in terms of customer satisfaction, loyalty, as well as profitability. All right. There are four elements of training, whereby the first one is training content. So company will start with training content. So what are the training content? Uh, Basically, this training content is consists of organizational culture, purpose, as well as strategy. So this is very basic for candidates, where before they involve in certain jobs or position, before they perform the job or the task, they must have sufficient training in terms of culture of the company, as well as what are the strategies of the company. All right. So second one, interpersonal skills and technical skills. As Azlan mentioned just now, uh, in terms of training, some companies, especially services companies, they really emphasize this interpersonal, some sort like communication skills or body language, how the best so-called the best skill to talk to the clients, right? So next is product and service knowledge. This is more on uh, how candidates can perform the jobs by mastering the product and services information, right? So next one is reinforce training uh, to shape behavior. So this is very important for supervisor to improve decision making. So next, internal communication to shape the service culture and behavior. So internal communication, as well as known as well as known as internal marketing effort. This is uh, training that help to ensure that efficient and satisfactory service delivery. So last is professionalizing the front line. This is very important when frontline meet customers. So they should be able to act professionally. For example, if we go to like five-star hotel, if you notice most of the waiters, they are able to explain most of the favorite menus, in terms of process, in terms of ingredients that the chef use, so that from there clients impressed and satisfied with the service. All right. So next, we go to empowerment. So what is the empowerment? Empowerment is the elements that encourage frontliner to show proactive customer service performance. So this is basically to put trust and train frontliners to use good judgment in all situations. So it is also solution to service problem as well as customization of service delivery. Uh, this is where frontliners are equipped with certain skill where they can just make decision without referring to the supervisor. I mean, a realistic or rational decision. So in terms of level of empowerment, there are four level. First one is information about performance. This is basically some sort like KPI, you know. So they know the firm's performance as well as individual performance. Second, knowledge that enables contribution to the performance. Third, power to make decision. Last but not least, performance-based rewards. So this is basically referring to rewards. If you perform your tasks or your jobs, or if you able to deliver the best service to the clients, so you should be able to get reward. This is something that normally service companies provide to the frontline, right? Last is requirement for empowerment or empowering. All right. So next, there are three types of level whereby suggestion of involvement, jobs involvement, as well as high involvement. And next, we'll probably pass to Daniel Victory to continue the slide with motivate. Okay, Daniel.
Okay. Okay. Okay, you can see. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. You can see my slide.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You can hear me, yeah? All right. I start with Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, my part is motivate and energize employees, as you can see here. Okay, as you can see here, here is the definition of motivate and energize. What is a motivate? Motivate is a to provide someone with a reason for doing something. Okay, in a short term, it's the feeling based on the a person act or behavior to a particular task or activity. Okay, which means motivate is a human psychology factor that drive or push a person to behave in particular way. Okay, maksudnya macam dia push someone untuk bergerak. There's two types of motivation, which is one is intrinsic, and then the second one is extrinsic. Okay, intrinsic means internal factor or internal personal factor, desire or expectation to overcome challenge and to produce high quality work. And then for extrinsic factor, to exchange the team to do well, uh, to do well, such as payment, bonus, increment. Okay. And for energize, Energize, as you can see here, an act to give vitality and enthusiasm. Okay. In HR term, structuring ways for employees to get the growth, challenge, and renewal they seek without leaving their current job or organization. Okay, we go for the next slides, which is, okay, here got 6 factor of motivation. Okay, kalau nak tahu, kalau nak tengok kat sini, dia actually dia by level, by peringkat. The first is utilize full range of rewards, and the second, pay or wages, performance bonus, satisfying job content, appreciation, and recognition, goal accomplishment. Okay, first kita pergi pada utilize all range of reward. Apa tu utilize all range of reward? The staff know that if they perform, they will get promoted or recognized. They also know those who don't perform, high chance they will get fired. However, it's not only staff responsibility to do the best for the company. It is also employee responsibility to keep the momentum going by utilizing all range of rewards. Which brings me to the next point. We go to the pay or wages. Pay or wages. Okay. Okay, nowadays we heard a lot of company is giving underpaid salary, which is now COVID-19, right? So they cut off what they can from the company. It is important to know that fair salary is crucial to make our staff feel motivated. Tak sewenang-wenang je lah untuk staff tu membuat sesuatu perkara dalam company. And then ada example, so staff ni bekerja terpaksa follow boss. So boss ni boleh motivate daripada situ. Dia tarik something, and then kalau dia nak motivate someone, dia akan bagi something, so someone tu lebih motivate lah. Some other points we can see the company give a increment dekat dalam sesuatu company itulah. Contohnya. And then whereas to increase salary based on the staff performance lah. Some things like increment lah. That one is increment. Okay. This matter lah often seen as a short term period. Tapi short term je lah untuk motivasi, sesuatu motivasi tu. Okay, for the next we go to performance bonus. Okay. Macam yang sekarang tahu, company-company besar dia akan bagi bonus. Macam contohnya kita boleh tengok Johor Sdn Bhd, dia akan motivate staff dia bagi bonus dalam masa 6 bulan. 6 bulan, sebanyak 6 bulan bonus. Kat situ besar, sangat besar. So staff-staff yang bekerja ni motivate diri diorang untuk bekerja lagi bagus, untuk push diri diorang untuk dapatkan bonus 6 bulan tu lah. Jika diorang punya performance bagus, diorang dapatlah bonus 6 bulan tu. Macam tu lah. Efektif lah, it's more effective. Okay, and then for satisfying job content ni, okay, this is where the employee provide variety of different activities, or maybe give the significance that the job has an impact to others people life. Apart from that, the job that comes with astronomy and flexibility also give the staff feeling of enjoying the job. Therefore, will keep staff feeling motivated. Okay, actually itu pengenalan untuk job content. Okay, and the next is appreciation and recognition. Okay, sekejap bagi saya minum air sekejap, penat. Okay, for appreciation, just make it simple lah. I boleh terangkan untuk you all yang appreciation ni contohnya macam sesuatu boss atau suatu company atau boss, jika dia appreciate dia punya staff, dia memberi pujian. Itu salah satu contoh lah, pujian ataupun insentif kepada staff dia. So kat situ pun menambah Itu adalah salah satu faktor untuk sesuatu staff tu motivate the uh, staff untuk bekerja dekat situ lah. That one is penerangan untuk appreciation and recognition. And then last is goal accomplishment. What is a goal accomplishment? Staff also have their own personal goal and their own target in life. Employee can, uh, employer can be a part of the catalyst to give staff the ability to grow, to set their own personal goals and or expand their capabilities and knowledge. Staff ni bekerja dalam sesuatu career, dalam sesuatu tempat ataupun company, dia boleh grow dia punya career dekat situ. So itu adalah goal achievement. So dia boleh mengejar pangkat, dia boleh mengejar salah satu contohnya dia boleh mengejar pangkat, dia boleh mengejar sesuatu yang dia rasa benefit dia dekat company itulah. Itu untuk penerangan goal accomplishment. Okay, for the next slide, I think we go to back to Azlan.
Right. Thank you, Daniel Fitri. Okay. Actually, this slide will be continued to my friend, but she cannot to attend tonight meeting because she had like uh, medical issue. So I will continue this part. I hope that I can do very well because I have a study about this. And thank you both of us. I think both of you, I think you already done your presentation very good. All right. Sorry. Maybe someone can help me to
Azlan, slide number 9. 9 and 10.
yes, I know that, but I cannot open the slide here. I know the slide, but I cannot open in my, I think maybe you can help me to open your slide. I just explain from here. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry for the technical issue. Okay, now I want to present about service climate, culture, and leadership. Okay, this is a very important topic. Okay, I need your pay attention here. I will explain in Bahasa also because to make everyone is not boring about my explanations. All right. So service climate, culture, and leadership. Okay, number one is a service culture. Share perceptions of employees about practice, procedure and type of belief. Okay, service culture ni dia macam membentuk pemikiran ataupun budaya kerja yang telah ditetapkan dalam sebuah organisasi tu. Sebagai contoh pekerja-pekerja McDonald mungkin dia dah ada satu budaya ataupun service culture di mana mereka have to please people when the people come into the restaurants. Okay, like they have to put tangan dekat dada and then tunduk untuk memberi hormat. Ini ialah service culture di mana kita melihat secara keseluruhan. Sebagai contoh juga, Malaysia Airlines System, mereka telah dibentuk oleh service culture di mana mereka memberikan perkhidmatan yang premium. Okay, bila kita masuk ataupun passengers masuk ke dalam kapal terbang, mereka akan warm welcome kita dengan okay, selamat datang. Okay, and then diorang bagi perkhidmatan yang baiklah. Dan juga susun atur pinggan ataupun peralatan untuk menghidang makanan dalam business class terutamanya. Mereka juga mengikut service culture yang telah ditetapkan lah. Okay, number 2 is a climate for service. Share perceptions of practice and behavior that get rewarded. Okay, yang ini kita akan bercakap berkenaan dengan rewards lah. Okay, di mana setiap pekerja ataupun organisasi yang telah menetapkan piawaian service culture mengikut standard piawaian mereka sendiri, and then setiap pekerja perlu mengikuti setiap servis ataupun perkhidmatan yang telah diorang gazetkan lah, seperti macam standard operation procedure, dan bagaimana organisasi menilai semua ini melalui KPI lah. Diorang punya performance, punya dalam mengikut servis yang telah ditetapkan untuk setiap organisasi tu. Yang terakhir ialah leadership, focus on basic versus transformation, strong focus on frontline. Okay, leadership ni macam my first explanation. Leadership is very important, di mana setiap pengurus mempunyai pemikiran ataupun cara leadership mereka dalam memastikan kesemua pekerja yang berada dalam organisasi tersebut mengikut seperti apa yang telah dirancangkan dalam organisasi lah, dan juga untuk mencapaikan goal. Okey, untuk slide seterusnya. Okay, building a service-oriented culture. Okay, building a service-oriented culture, kita pergi nombor 1, what is the right and wrong? Okay, so sekiranya dekat dalam sesuatu organisation tu, kita perlu melihat apa kesilapan dan kekurangan, okay, dalam sebuah organisasi itu, dan kita perlulah mengambil langkah yang drastik untuk memastikan dan mengenal pasti apa yang betul dan salah dalam organisasi itu. Untuk kita, kalau sekiranya ada perkara yang betul yang dilakukan, perlulah diperbaiki lebih lagi. Dan kalau ada yang kesalahan tu, haruslah kita terus membuang kesalahan tu lah. Style of work, kita perlu melihat cara sama ada cara kita bekerja tu adalah betul ataupun tidak. Selalunya kebanyakan pekerja, mereka sendiri melakukan kerja melalui pemikiran mereka sendiri. Mereka tidak melaksanakan tugas seperti apa yang telah ditetapkan dalam standard operation procedure. So perkara seperti ini yang perlu dilihat lah. Okay, style of work. Okay, seterusnya ialah what works and what does not works. Okey, yang perkara seperti ini contohnya seperti tindakan disiplin kepada pekerja. Okey, mungkin ada tindakan yang kita ambil tetapi tidak memberi kesan kepada pekerja tersebut. So mungkinlah perkara ini tidak does not work for that particular pekerja. So mungkin tindakan lain yang perlu diambil untuk sebagai tindakan lah supaya mereka dapat perelokkan mereka punya kesilapan lah. Alright, belief and assumptions, kepercayaan dalam melakukan sesuatu tugas, kepercayaan dalam melakukan sesuatu tugas lah. Contohnya, setiap tugas yang dilakukan oleh setiap pramugari, mereka mempunyai kepercayaan mereka, di mana kalau mereka buat berkelakuan jujur dan amanah, mereka akan mendapat reward. Okay, mungkin secara daripada sudut agama mereka akan dapat reward, and daripada company pun mungkin mereka dinilai daripada sudut yang kepercayaan mereka lah. Okay, what is important in organizations? Lastly is what is important in the organizations. Okay, secara keseluruhannya, perkara yang penting yang diambil kira dalam sebuah organisasi itulah iaitu mereka punya directions ataupun company mission and visions. So setiap team memainkan peranan yang sangat penting untuk mencapaikan matlamat organisasi itu berlandaskan goal sesebuah company itu, dan di-coordinate oleh setiap leader ataupun pengurus. Okey, seterusnya part ini akan diteruskan oleh sahabat saya, Azrin.
Okay, thank you Azlan. So just now Azlan mentioned about culture and climate. So there's three main point that we should pay more attention in this subtopic. Alright, in this topic. So I will continue with qualities of effective leaders in service organization. So culture and climate is very important for services industries or frontline. So the effective leader should have certain skills or should equip with certain advantage or knowledge, right? So probably I will start with first point is to love their business. So leader should love their business. So just now Daniel mentioned about enthusiasm, right? On top of that, I would also like to emphasize patience. You know, leaders should have patience to run the business. So if they have
Correct.
patience, they can do extra miles. They can do many things for the companies, for the brands, for the organization, right? So second, basically driven by a set of core value. So most of the company they will they will set certain value or core value to the staff or to the front line, right? So um, this leader should probably um, practice or implemented it, right? Uh, Third one is key part played uh, in delivering service delivering service. So this is basically leaders should recognize whatever contribution from others employee who work for them and pay attention to the communication with them. So by doing that, uh, they should be able to hear the whole story or to get what other things happen in the companies, right? So next is involved in decision makers. Leaders should be able to ask great questions and as well as to get answer from the team. No, there's always two two side of communication, right? So in this case, they should be able to make a right decision, or they don't have to nominate it to other people to make decision. They as a leader they have to make the decision, right? So next, role model of behavior. So they should as a leader they should show um, a positive vibe so that the other staff can follow, can make it as a role model. And then last but not least, excellent communication skill. So leaders should equip with certain skill, perhaps communication, because communication is very important. Uh, they are communicating with people. They are communicating with internal staff, external people. So they should know how to speak with these respective parties. So next, I will probably move to leadership styles focus on basic and role modeling. So there's two leadership styles, as you can see from the slide: management of basic versus transformational leadership. So if you look at the point highlighted under this management of basic, normally leadership will demonstrate the commitment, set the high standard, as well as recognize, remove the obstacle, ensuring the availability of resources. This is basically a typical kind of leadership will set a benchmark whereby transformational leadership the leader will works with the team to identify the need changes. Probably they will get another opinion or suggestion from the team, as well as creating a vision to guide and change through inspiration, and as well as execution or executing the changes in tandem with committed members of group. So if you look at two different style, uh, myself I would prefer transformational leadership. Uh, this is more like additional value add uh, in terms of leadership's value and styles. All right. So once they decide the best styles, they can make it as a role model. They can always implement to the companies as well as to the firms. So next, I will move to this focusing on entire organization on the front line. All right. As you can see, there's two pyramid. On my left hand side is a typical pyramid whereby top management, middle management, and frontline staff. All right, there's always like top to bottom approach. While um, if you look at a front line, if you put everybody as a front line, so frontline is the one who will be facing customers, uh, suppliers, or external people. So if you put this value to every one of them, to each of them, they should be able to represent a good image of the company. All right, as you can see, top management, middle management, and support frontline, they are all in the same column, whereby frontline staff, it can be anybody. It can be top management, it can be frontline itself, or it can be middle management, or anybody of the company. So in this case, frontline is the lifetime of business. Frontline essentially will determine how far the business can go. Revenue for today and tomorrow driven by service encounter. And last but not least, customer service is just not a department. It should be the entire company. This is the point. This is the right point that I would like to highlight, whereby not only the frontline should act professionally. I think everybody in the companies should follow whatever good, whatever positive vibe that has been a culture of the company. So they should represent a good image to the company, so that the company can expand and can leverage, as well as indirectly be a preferred employer, as I mentioned in my first slide. All right, I think that's all from me at the moment. I will pass this session probably to Daniel, and he also will share a little bit more on past year question. All right, Daniel, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, I will share my slide first here. Okay. All right. Okay. Here, this is the past year question. For past year question, I already video it. I make a video of it's more proper, and then it's more better than I explain, so you can more understand what. Okay, here we go to the question paper past year. So I choose past year question, December 2016. We go to the question number 4. The employee service performance in a service firm that involve in customer facing positions play a crucial role in defining success. The scope of customer facing employees job often leads to role conflict and great stress among employees in the service industry. So the A question. Explain example the three main causes of role conflict and role stress among employees. Okay, question number 4A. Three causes. Number 1, organization and client conflict. This type of conflict where service employees have to choose between enforcing the company's rule and satisfying customer demand is also called two bosses dilemma. The problem is especially acute in organizations that are not customer oriented. For example, what I can say, to do cross selling when customer requests for certain product or service, staff need to offer something else that is available instead. Second, Person or role conflict. Service staff may have conflict between what their job requires them to do and their own personalities, self-perception, and belief. For example, the job may require staff to smile and be friendly even to rude customers. Number three, inter-client conflict. Conflict between customers are not uncommon. For example, smoking in non-smoking area, jumping queues, talk on phone in a movie theater, and then being excessively noisy in a restaurant. So that's all for today. That's a past year question from me. And then we go back to the Azlan. Thank you very much. Okay,
Okay,
that's all
thank
from
you very much to
the
all
video.
my friends. Okay, I think we
So,
will
sorry,
continue.
I want to ask. All my video, you all clear, right?
Yes,
Semua orang
yes,
dengar kan?
yes, we do.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, so that's all for us, and a very good evening, and see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.